Hello, and welcome to an extra special super secret episode of the Brain Ladle Trivia Podcast. I am your green belt host, Davo. Kels?
Yes, sir.
Andy?
Should I whisper? I mean, this is a secret?
This is a super secret special episode. We are not in the dojo today. We have managed to escape.
Oh.
We made a break for it, and we just couldn't handle... We needed a break. You know, we needed a break from Sensei Neil's tyrannical trivia for 1 week. And I think it's important to stretch your trivia legs, you know, flex your trivia muscles and all that, but sometimes you just want to chill with some friends. You know what I mean?
Okay. I'm sorry. It still looks like I'm in the room I'm always in when I record. That's why I'm a little confused.
This is theater of the mind, Andy.
Oh, right. Now I'm with you.
Okay. The illusion's destroyed. That's fine. If you want to break the illusion, Neil is moving house and he doesn't have internet right now. So we are recording a special episode without Neil, but we have Major.
Hello.
How are you, Major?
I am fantastic. I'm really, grateful for this opportunity, and I'm hoping to deliver I'm going to say, I'm aiming for subpar because I like to under-promise and over-deliver. So if we hit average, I think I'll be really happy with that performance.
Under-promise and over-deliver. I love that.
That's fantastic.
We need to get that on a T-shirt or some kind of coaster.
Yeah.
Something
that
for
might
the show.
Be our slogan.
Yeah. But here at Brain Ladle, we under-promise and over-deliver.
All at the same time.
Nice. So, Major, what brings you to the show today?
I would say relief duty. Baby relief duty. I'm pinch hitting for Allison this week.
Oh, yes, pinch hitter.
So that is a reason for my presence, but also, hopefully I can stake a claim to a few episodes in the future myself. We'll see.
Well, this is your tryout. We'll see how you do. We have very, very high standards here at the. I can't even say that without laughing.
I know. It's like, welcome to the majors, kid.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
So since Neil isn't here to give the rules, I'll give the rules today.
Uh-huh.
We have a theme and 6 categories, 4 questions each. Each question is worth 10 points. And we have a final question that's worth up to 100 points, unless Major's done something differently, because we are doing it live today.
Davo, don't we do it live like all the time?
Again, theater of the mind. You're ruining it.
Well, you just said that you were out.
Go
you said
with
you were out.
me.
Now you jump back in. You have to let me know.
We
just
do
let me
it
know what
live.
you're doing.
I didn't know we were doing a theater production. I wasn't.
Yeah. Like you
this
have
is
to
why
prepare
we
the
need
camera.
Neil. This is, Major, can you corral us back into some form of order with a topic, please?
Absolutely. The topic we have today, gentlemen, is spring. Spring is sprung, and it's time for some spring-related trivia questions.
I like spring.
I like spring.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
It's all right.
My allergies love spring.
How can you have allergies? You never go outside.
Yeah, you're a creature. You're a creature of the night.
I am a creature of the night. That's true. Well, I hear... Okay, never mind. We're ready.
All right, so we want to jump in?
Yes.
All right, first category for the spring trivia questions is Easter.
Mm-hmm.
Spring holiday. So we have 4 Easter-related questions coming up. Question 1. Which president was the first to host the egg roll at the White House?
This isn't multiple choice or anything friendly.
This is not. I'm playing the cards I'm dealt, guys. I'm sorry.
That's
Hey, Davo, if you know all of the presidents, those are all your multiple choices right there.
Yeah.
So
Actually, you have a multiple choice.
Yeah.
Nobody said
All
it was
right.
a fair test.
We'll just go with yeah. Okay. Yeah, 45.
Sure.
This feels like a thing that this guy would do. All right, I'm locked in.
Also locked in.
All right. Davo, let's start with you.
Well, I chose FDR because this seems like something that he would do. So Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Okay.
Like nobody knew what FDR stood for. Thanks for
Clarity.
clearing that up
Going for
us.
clarity.
Well, considering I couldn't come up with two other multiple choice questions or options off the top of my head, I feel like that's a fair assumption to clarify. So I appreciate it. Kels?
I pretty much used the Davo logic right there. I figured it was a morale booster around the time he was president. So I also went with FDR.
All right. And
who's
Andy?
FDR?
Oh, I hate all of you.
The second Roosevelt.
Second Roosevelt.
Electric Boogaloo Roosevelt.
Secret of the Ooze.
It's going to be one of
Roosevelt.
these shows. I can tell already. I was torn. It's either Hayes or Harding, and I locked in with Rutherford B. Hayes.
Ooh.
Andy,
it's much older than FDR.
Andy, that was an excellent guess. The answer is Rutherford B. Hayes, who had hosted the first egg roll in 1878.
Rutherford B. Hayes.
So now I don't feel so bad about non-multiple choice.
It's not exactly fair. He's a history teacher.
Fair.
Well, there's a question on the AP College Board exam about the egg roll.
That you know.
Well, I don't know that. I'm not taking the AP history test. I don't know what they put on those tests.
All right. Where was the first chocolate egg created? What country?
Locked in.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in as well.
Okay. Andy, let's start with you this time.
I think it's Cadbury, and I think it's England.
Kels?
I also went with England.
And Davo?
Well, instead of thinking of the chocolate, I thought of the egg, and I know the egg is a traditional symbol for Easter in Russia. So I went with Russia.
All right. I don't believe anyone got that question correct.
What?
Yeah, the first chocolate egg was created in France. Cadbury created their egg in England 30 years later.
Zoinks! I don't know if that's French or not.
It's a little bit
how long did you take
it? 2 years.
Oh, yeah. Zoinks never showed up on the exam now, did it?
Not that I remember. The whole 2
Zoinks.
years kind of hazy.
It was Les Zoinks.
Actually, it's feminine, so it's La Zoinks.
La Zoinks. Sorry. Conjugation was not my strong suit.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wrote and illustrated The Tale of Peter Rabbit, everyone's favorite rabbit-based children's book? I don't know. I'm assuming.
More of a Watership Down man myself, but
Yeah, I'm more of Animal Farm with my kids. They don't really sleep.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
Locked in.
All right, Davo.
Beatrix Potter.
Kels.
Ulster went with Potter.
Were
And
you
Andy.
Winston Churchill for a minute?
Yes. Yes, I was.
Beatrix.
I presumed he was doing Harry Potter, actually, not Churchill.
Oh, there
but-
you go.
Yeah. I as well went with Beatrix Potter.
All right. Points all around. The answer is Beatrix Potter.
I like points.
On the board.
Does this one count?
Count? What do you mean count?
Do I get a belt if I win or lose here, or is this one of those?
This is for pride because
Oh,
we're hanging out with friends. Major is our friend.
There we go.
Yeah.
okay.
Maybe you get
Andy
like
wears
some,
suspenders
like
anyway.
like a trivia socks, some different coloration. If we can come up with some sort of
Trivia socks. I want trivia socks.
I like that idea. I like that idea a lot.
Right now I'm wearing socks with hot sauce bottles on them, so I need some cool trivia socks.
there's a merch idea. That one's for free.
You're the man, Major. On the list.
All right. Question 4. What Easter candy was originally made by hand and took over 30 hours to create?
Oh man.
Locked in.
Easter candy? Straight up Easter candy.
No.
I guess you could say like spring related candy, but it is generally a candy purchased around that time.
Right.
You don't really buy it outside of this window. Some people do. I think those people are crazy.
What?
Crack
My hand.
rock is not a
Oh.
candy.
No.
I will clarify
30?
it is no longer created by hand, but it was
Okay.
whenever it was first originally created. I'm sure it is pumped out of a machine somewhere at this point.
Extruded. That's a. Well, I'm going to go with it. I don't think it's right. I'm going to go
I
with
know
it.
mine.
I'm locked
I
in.
know mine's not right. I'm locked in too.
All right. Andy, let's start with you.
I'm fairly certain I heard this on NPR recently. I believe Peeps is the answer.
Ooh, really?
Pretty sure.
All that to make something gross.
Only time will tell. Kels, what do you got?
I just wrote down candy necklace. I was very interested.
I
in
do like
that.
the thought process.
I mean, it's a delicate piece of jewelry and food.
Made by
so-
hand. I would imagine still made.
From Jared Jewelers, handmade.
With only the
necklace
finest
for your
peppermints for all your rave needs.
We hand select experiment.
All right, Davo, what do you got?
I said Peeps.
All right. 2 of you have points this round. This question. It is Peeps.
Nice.
30 hours to make a peep?
I know.
30 wasted hours. Let's be
I was
clear.
about to say,
Because peeps are nasty.
Agreed.
after they made that first one, they should have took another 30 hours, make another one, and then throw them both in the trash.
I think it also takes 30 hours to digest a peep.
Yeah. So at the end of round 1, don't want to step on your thunder there, Major, but since I'm doing the math,
Good call.
at the end of round 1, Andy has 30, Davo has 20, and Kels has 10.
All right.
And may I interrupt you one more time, Major?
Yes.
Hey, Andy, how about those shout-outs?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give a shout out to all of our Patreon supporters, including our very first Patreon supporter and mother to the show, Susan L. And of course, Coquise, our most recent supporter on the Patreon. And please, 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 if you can help us out, we would appreciate it and keep the madness going. Thanks for helping.
Thank you, Andy. Gotta pay the light bill somehow. Yeah. Whenever you're ready, Major.
All righty. So let's move on to our second round in the spring trivia. And this round is science. So the science of spring. That sounds like everybody sounds really happy about that.
Neil's not here.
Yeah, I thought we had a science pass this time. It's like a substitute teacher. We're not really going to do the hard
watch
stuff.
a movie.
She says we don't have to do science on Thursdays. All right.
Yeah. So science is where we're at.
Wrong.
I put my foot down. Trivia socks are on the line. That means we do science.
Oh.
All right. Question 1. What specific 3-word psychological disorder declines across the United States each year when spring begins?
Oh, man.
Declines.
Yeah.
Logical disorder. 3.
All right.
I can provide a hint if one is needed.
Yes,
please.
It also goes by a very popular 3-letter acronym.
What does IC stand for?
I can't kayak. I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
I can't even come up with a joke for this one. I'm Ray Guy. There, I punt.
Oh, really?
I'm punting.
Wow.
Hang
time.
Oh, man. All right. With Andy punting, let's start with Kels.
All right. I went with the spring afflicted disorder. Nah, that would be sad.
And Davo.
I also went with sad, but mine was seasonal affective disorder.
Oh.
And that is correct. Seasonal affective disorder is right. I feel like we should get half points to Kels because I did throw out the acronym. But I'll let the point keeper decide.
Well, you're the trivia sock wearing guy. You decide.
All right, half points.
All right.
Half points it is.
How does it feel, by the way, with the power there, Major? Does it feel good? Just you're giving out points?
Oh yeah, I'm drunk with it.
Yeah.
At this point,
You sound
it's
like
all downhill
giddy.
from here.
Yeah.
Rule with an iron fist from here forward. All right, question 2 in the science category. What is the scientific name for the first day of spring?
Locked in.
Oh, this feels like it's going to be tricksy. Maybe I just think all science is witchcraft, so it's all tricksy.
Don't you like sci-fi?
I like sci-fi because it's got lasers and stuff.
Yeah, and they make stuff up.
They make stuff up.
I'm locked in too.
It's going to be tricksy, Kels.
Probably.
It's not that. It's not. Is it? Is it? No. Yeah, I'm going to go with that.
You understand we can't hear the voices in your head, right?
Yeah. I'm locked in.
All right, Andy, let's start with you.
The vernal equinox.
And Kels.
I also went with the younger brother of the Chevy Equinox with vernal.
Davo.
I don't know why I funny, but it really is.
Oh, man.
I also said vernal equinox, which is vernal is a town in Utah that my mom grew up in.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Trivia nugget.
Vernal, Utah. Hey.
Well,
All right. Points all around. It is vernal equinox, the scientific name for the first day of spring.
All right.
All right. Question 3. Many cities are known for dyeing their rivers green for St. Patrick's Day. What color is the powder that is added to the river to make it appear green?
This feels tricksy. Could, what color is the water before? Man, I don't, I don't like this anymore.
I am totally guessing here, being the colorblind guy out of the group. There's no sense in even me thinking about it.
I'm gonna lock in.
Oh, man. All right, I'm locked in.
Yeah, I'm locked in.
Okay. Let's start with you then, Andy.
I went with yellow, which I believe is what color Davo is. Again, colorblind, not sure.
I don't
Kels.
get outside at all.
I also went with yellow.
Okay. And Davo.
I went with yellow as well because yellow and blue make green on my sandwich bag.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out.
Sandwich bag?
Yeah, when you to make sure so you know it's closed with the Ziploc bag.
Oh, I didn't know that's changed
I didn't know
color.
that either.
Yeah, yellow and blue.
Andy, I'm so sorry.
You are such the housewife, Davo. That is so nice.
House spouse.
House spouse. Get it right.
Well, we all learned something about sandwich bags today, but we did not get a correct answer for that question. The correct answer is orange. Orange is the color of the powder that is added to the river in cities like Chicago and San Antonio to turn the rivers green for St. Patrick's Day. All right, question 4. These flowers die in the fall and bloom in the spring. We're looking for more of a category of flowers that would fall within this category.
Oh, okay.
Pretty flowers?
If you want to lock in with that, go ahead.
So they bloom in the fall and die in the spring? Is that what you're saying?
These flowers die in the fall and bloom in the spring.
Bloom in the spring. Okay.
Nope.
Oh, I think I see what you're asking.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in as well.
All right. Kels, let's start with you.
I'm hoping it's annuals.
All right. Davo.
I said annuals as well.
All right. And Andy.
And I went with the annuals.
Unfortunately, the correct answer is
Perennials.
Yeah,
I thought it meant that they were all year good. That's what I talked
think
to myself.
Perennials mean that you just have to plant them once. And they
Yeah,
just keep
perennials you
coming?
only have to plant once. Annuals you have
correct.
to plant each year, and that's why when he said they
Yeah.
die, I thought he meant annuals
Oh, I can understand that.
because they don't die; they go dormant. Perennials go dormant. Annuals die.
Oh,
So after 2 rounds, where do we stand?
Well, Andy and Davo are tied at 40, and Kels has 25.
Okay. All right. Round 3. Category 3 is opening day, baseball.
Yeah. Yay!
So a sharp turn from science.
I'm happy about that.
oldest pitch. I'm gonna lock in.
I'm going to lock in, and I might regret it, but I'm locking in.
Me too, because I'm not sure if he's a Hall of Famer or not.
Well, I got 2. I actually have 3, but I'm going with
Oh, I am drawing a blank.
well, the pitchers are the ones that throw the ball. And
I
the National
know,
League-
Davo. I'm locked in.
Alrighty, Andy, let's start with you.
I'm going with Carlton Fisk just because I liked Old Catfish. There we go.
What?
What
Yeah,
the heck
Carlton
was
Fisk.
that?
Carlton
Carlton
Fisk?
Fisk. Hall of Fame catcher Carlton Fisk is the opening
You heard the
pitcher
question?
Wait a minute. What
to
am I?
start a game.
Oh!
Did you mean
I
Steve
told
Carlton?
you I drew a blank. I had a total brain freeze there.
You said old
So-
catfish, and that's Catfish Hunter.
There's Catfish
Steve
Hunter and
Carlton.
Steve Carlton.
Yeah,
Are not the same person.
I got some names mixed up there.
All of them.
Okay,
Wow.
I got it wrong. Let's move
What's your
on.
favorite sport, Andy?
Well, you never know.
Oh,
We gotta see what
no.
happens here at the end. Might
I
surprise
mean,
you.
I'm a big.
You're so nice. You're the best, Major. That's great.
Wow. All right.
You know, my favorite basketball player is Shaquille Chamberlain.
Kels, what do you got?
I went with Satchel Paige.
Oh, that's who I was going to go with. God bless Bess.
Who'd you go with?
Well, I'll let Major ask for my answer. You're not the boss of me,
Davo.
Kels.
You're right. You're right.
I
Davo,
went with
what do you
Nolan
got?
Ryan.
Ooh,
That's a
dang.
good
The
one.
correct answer is Nolan Ryan.
Oh,
Ah,
45
Come
years
on.
old, opening day.
Satchel Paige was my first answer, and I scratched it out.
I mean, oldest rookie of the year. I want to say no, oldest rookie.
Yeah.
Oldest rookie.
Yeah. Question 2. There are 3 MLB players tied for most career opening day home runs. I just need one of them. I believe one played in the 70s, one played the majority of his career in the 90s, and one played the majority of his career in the 2000s.
Well, then it's not Joe DiMaggio.
Jolton Joe? No.
Yeah.
I got to guess. I'm just going to lock in.
Yeah, I'm locked in.
Yeah, I'm locked in as well.
All right. Kels, let's start with you this time.
All right. I guessed Frank Robinson.
Ooh.
Okay. Davo, what do you got?
I went with the one in the 90s, so I went with Ken Griffey Jr.
And Andy,
I went with Babe Ruth.
1890s.
Sure.
All right. The correct 3 answers are Frank Robinson,
Woot!
Ken Griffey Jr.,
Big hurt.
Oh!
and Adam Dunn.
Adam Dunn.
Played
Nice.
for the Red. He played for the Reds. I think Adam Dunn played for the White Sox for a little bit.
Yeah.
The best thing I know about Adam Dunn is that he also ranks 3rd all time in career strikeouts. So it was either a home run or a strikeout. That's the only trivia nugget I have about Adam Dunn.
Who's ahead of him?
So Kels, you asked who is ahead of him. Number 1 is Reggie Jackson. Number
knew it.
2 is Jim Thome.
Jim Thome?
But I will say both of those guys played over 20 years to reach those numbers, and Adam Dunn did it in 14 seasons. So he's got him beat on a ratio standpoint.
He's an overachiever. Oh, man.
Hold my beer. I can do it in 14.
All right, question 3. Which president started the American tradition of the presidential first pitch in 1910 at Griffith Stadium on the Washington Senators opening day?
Locked in.
Also locked in.
I'm locked in as well.
All right, Davo, what do you got?
Woodrow Wilson.
And Kels?
I said Teddy Roosevelt. I don't feel good about it.
And Andy?
It's Wilson.
I have William Howard Taft.
Oh, that's what I didn't see him as an athlete throwing
Really?
balls or anything. 1910. That's kind of early for Wilson, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It
It's way too
was,
early for a
Yeah.
Wilson.
All right. Well, moving on to our fourth and final baseball question. In what year, within 2 years, did Major League Baseball hold its earliest opening day? So, not necessarily the first opening day of Major League Baseball, but in what year did the season start the earliest it had ever started?
Early. Mm,
And I guess theoretically the first season would be the earliest, but but not in that regard.
I don't even know why. I have no idea. I'm just guessing.
I'm going to lock in.
and I am locked in.
Yeah, I am as well.
Okay. Kels.
I said 1980.
Oh, you're brilliant.
And Andy.
That makes so much more sense than mine.
I went with 1929, the Great Depression. They needed the money.
And Davo.
I went with 1880 because it sounds good.
The correct answer is this year, 2019. Opening day
Wow.
was March 28th.
Oh,
Wow.
how tricksy was that?
That was tricksy.
Yeah, and the previous
That was tricksy.
the previous earliest opening day record holder was actually last season for March 29th. It's under a new agreement with the Players Association, providing an additional weekend, I believe, at the beginning of the season, and then additional days off in between.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Wow. I had a perfect game with opening day.
So at halftime, I am in the lead with 60. Andy had a perfect game, so he's still at 40, and Kels is at 35.
Round 4, music. So
Yay.
took a musical approach to spring. Some subtle, actually no, not very subtle in any of these, but question 1. Bruce Springsteen played with this band on and off since the early 1970s. For a bonus question, where did the band get its name from?
Locked in.
I'm also locked in.
I'm locked in as well.
Okay. Andy, what do you got?
It's the E Street Band. I know they're from Belmar, New Jersey, and I presume it's a street there in Belmar.
All right. Kels.
I also went with the E Street Band, and I had no idea where they were from, but I figured that it was a street in the town in which they grew up in.
And Davo.
The E Street Band, and I had no idea, so I did not attempt the bonus.
Okay. Everybody gets points. E Street Band is correct. And I will give Kels and Andy the bonus as well. It's the street Belmar where the band got together. I believe Bruce Springsteen grew up on. Actually, trivia nugget. I believe Bruce Springsteen was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame separately from the E Street Band. And I believe he got in there before they did. So I don't know if that caused any sort of tension.
Huh.
I didn't know that.
I would think.
That's weird. Why would that happen?
That's an excellent question.
Well, I'm actually directing that toward Andy. Why do you think that would happen?
I don't know. I mean, Springsteen's a little bit like Neil Young, where he would kind of decide when he was going to use the band and when he wasn't. But it's not like the E Street Band did anything separately. I've always thought that was just Bruce's backing band, so it's kind of a quirky thing.
It's like, was Tom Petty put into the Hall of Fame without the Heartbreakers?
Right, that'd be absurd. Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting question. I did
What
not
about
know that
Diana
little
Ross?
trivia nugget.
See, I think Diana Ross is in twice with Diana Ross and the Supremes.
Okay.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And obviously artists like Paul McCartney and Beatles are separate. But
Right.
E Street Band, I don't think they have an album outside of Bruce Springsteen.
If anybody out there has any notion about that, send us a tweet. Send us an email. We want to know.
Question 2. What is the stage name of this Australian musician whose music was popular in the 80s and his last name was Springthorpe? His real last name was Springthorpe.
Locked in.
Australian musician. Well, of course you are. Springthorpe.
We're looking for his stage name.
Yeah. Australian musician. Am I going to kick myself, Andy?
You might, Rabbit. You might. Though this is one of those, I guess I'll give you this hint. This is one of those, there's a little bit of shame in knowing this much about this artist.
Fair.
I'm gonna lock in. I have no idea.
Australian. A shameful Australian.
Well, I could be picky.
No. No, you're not. Okay, I'm going to go with this. I don't think it's right, but I'm locked in.
Andy.
Davo, what if I told you Don't Talk to Strangers? Or Jesse's Girl?
Oh, come on. No way.
It's Rick Springfield.
No,
I'm sure
it's not.
Yes, it is.
Kels.
All right, well, Davo, you're gonna be real mad. I was just sticking to the theme of the show, which is spring,
Mm-hmm.
and I wrote down Rick Springfield. I had no idea he was Australian.
I said Olivia Newton-John because that's
He said he several times.
Yeah.
I don't care about gender. It's the 21st century, man.
But
Okay.
But the 80s, it was.
I didn't catch it.
Right.
Because Olivia
first
Newton-John
Australian
really
that I
looked
was-
like a girl. Really looked like a
Well,
girl.
She really did, but that
Could
was
not
the
be more
first
girly looking.
shameful Australian act I could think of. Like, I don't know.
Yes, Kels and Andy did get it right. It is Rick Springfield,
Dang it.
everybody's favorite Australian, who I did not know was Australian until looking that question up as well.
And news to me too. But is Kylie Minogue from Australia?
Oh,
I
yes.
think so, yeah.
That's my favorite thing. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Kylie Minogue.
Oh, you can't. Men at Work. Come on.
Nah, I'm still.
If we're talking about shameful Australian, we're talking about Air Supply.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Man,
They're
there's
Australian.
a rock and roll like just invasion by the Australians with pop
Yeah.
80s rock.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Which reminds me, I am all out of love. I'm so lost without you.
That's the guys who sang like they were about to pass out, right?
Yes.
That's what it sounds like. Like they've been in the desert like all day, and like
Yeah.
if they don't find water soon, they're just gonna drop.
Here
that's what
I
Afterlife
am, hanging on these memories again.
Sad.
Yeah, I know all of them.
And you're picky.
I have no pride. I have no pride.
All right, question 3. What country artist wrote the song simply entitled Springsteen?
Boo.
What?
Yes.
What?
Springsteen?
A country artist wrote a song.
What was the name of the song
The
again?
song is titled Springsteen.
Springsteen, country artist.
I'm locked in with a total guess.
I'm locked in with a total guess.
And let's complete the trifecta. I am also locked in with a total guess.
All right. Let's start with Kels.
I said Miranda Lambert.
All right. Davo?
Speaking of shameful Australians, I said Keith Urban.
Nice.
And Andy?
I just realized my guess is counterproductive because I wrote down Casey Musgraves because that's what I'm listening to right now. And I just realized, and I've not heard a song called Springsteen, so that was probably like the one country artist I could have eliminated from this category.
Probably the one. Yeah, good job.
All right. The correct answer is Eric Church.
Who is that, and why should I listen to him?
I've heard of him. I just don't.
Oh, you have not, Kelvin. You don't
I think we're really reaching for spring-related music questions at that point.
Wow.
Well, I've
heard of Eric Church. Yeah, I've heard of Eric Church. I just don't know any of his music.
Huh.
All right. Hopefully we can do a little bit better with this next one.
Hoping so.
Question 4. There are 2 famous pop artists in the 30s and 40s. They're famous for singing the song Spring, Spring, Spring.
Oh, okay. Wait.
Give me one of them.
That was on the radio earlier. I don't.
I am locked in with my answer.
Did FDR ever drop an album?
I don't know why I'm just totally.
Like this pen is going to help you, Andy.
I'm locked in. I'm going with what we were talking about earlier. I got a good feeling.
Sure, I'm locked in too.
Andy.
Why not?
I'm going with Al Jolson.
And Davo.
Oh, June Powell.
And Kels.
Desi Arnaz.
The correct answers are Fred Astaire and Bing Crosby.
I almost went with Bing Crosby. I thought it was too early.
Okay, are you guys ready for a pinch hitter?
Oh my gosh. A pinch hitting for Major. It's Allison.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Hi.
Hola.
Well, let me read off the scores for round 4 at the end of round 4. I have extended my lead a little bit. I have 70. Andy has 62, and Kels has 57.
Anybody's game.
Anybody's game.
Okay. Next category, movies. You're welcome, Kels.
Thank you so much. I've been waiting for it out this whole game. Let's get it.
All right, question 1. In the movie Spring Breakers, James Franco portrays this real-life rapper.
Oh, come on. I can see that dude.
Oh, God. I can't.
And he's got such a terrible name.
I'm locked in with a total guess because I've never seen the movie.
I'm locked in.
Oh, man. I'm locked in.
All right, Andy, let's start with you.
Eminem.
Oh
my God.
Solid white rapper guess.
Yep. That's what I went with.
Davo, what did you put down?
Well, given James Franco's amazing acting talent, and he really dives deep into the character, I said Fab Five Freddy.
Oh, you disrespectful.
Wow.
Wow. So disrespectful.
And Kels.
He's dead anyway. What does it matter?
He's not dead.
He's not dead. We talked about this before.
I thought he was dead.
No.
You've thought that for like 10 years now. Vampire Freddy is fine.
He's just fine.
All right. All right.
I like the way he says, all right, like, I still don't believe you.
Okay. I went with Riff Raff.
And that would
I
make
knew
you
he-
correct.
I knew it was that
Kels,
some kind of snappy name.
Snappy.
Happy name.
Kels, do you also know the fake name they give him in the Spring Breakers movie?
It's is Alien?
Okay, I was thinking just Alien, but then I was like, that can't be right. Let me double check this.
Yeah, I think it's something like that. E.T. I don't know.
E.T.
He's an extraterrestrial. I don't know. He looks really weird in that movie.
Okay, question 2.
Thank you.
Thank you
Mm-hmm.
for saving him. Thank you.
This Broadway musical turned major motion picture included the song Springtime for Hitler.
Locked in.
Locked in.
Yeah. I'm probably making this harder than I should. But I'm locked in.
Okay, Kels, let's start with you. What'd you get?
The only thing that kind of makes sense is, well, given the time period, I would say The Sound of Music.
Okay. I mean, okay, we'll go to Andy next.
Quickly.
The Producers.
And Davo.
Oh, that is a thing.
The Producers.
Mm-hmm. The correct answer is The Producers. I mean, the Nuns could have sang that song, you know.
Right.
I doubt it. They were too busy trying to figure out what to do with Maria.
And to be fair, much like The Producers, the whole plot of Sound of Music stupid. Like, we're escaping the Nazis. It's a fun family musical. So it's, I guess, in that respect, it's not too far off.
Davo, how dare you, Andy?
How dare you?
Are they not escaping the Nazis?
They are.
Is it not a fun family musical?
Next, you're going to tell me that the chimney sweeps in Mary Poppins were not happy about their job.
They seem pretty damn
They
happy.
seem really happy about it. They were into class. They weren't into that kind of stigma.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had Munchkin singing about a dead person, like right in front of them. So, I'm not ruling anything out.
All right, question 3. Name the movie where spring break turns gory when an underground trimmer releases hundreds of prehistoric carnivorous fish.
If you stop watching bad movies, they'll stop making bad movies.
It's like a car crash, Andy. You can't look away.
Give me the plot again.
Gladly. Name the movie where spring break turns gory when an underground trimmer releases hundreds of prehistoric carnivorous fish.
Huh. Yeah, it still sounds stupid.
I'm locked in.
Man.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
I think that was everybody. Was that everybody?
Yeah.
It was.
All right, Davo. What'd you come up with?
Well, I'm not sure of the subtitle, but I believe it was Piranha's 3 Double D.
I want that to be the right answer.
And Kels, what'd you come up with?
I had no idea, so I said The Meg. for Megalodon.
Okay. And
That's just one prehistoric fish. Hello.
I hadn't seen the movie, so it might have been a lot.
Just one really big one.
Andy, what'd you come up with?
My answer is in honor of a friend of the show, David Bodie, Stargate Sharknado. Yeah. Can you see how that would work?
I can.
That would work.
Well, in fact, Davo was correct. With just a slight addition to the name, but we'll allow it. It's Piranha 3D.
I thought they did the 3DD thing because they were okay.
Oh, maybe they did. Maybe
I would have if I'm selling that kind of schlock.
All right, I am going online right now. I got to see if you guys are legit. Oh, dear God, this is a real movie.
There is both 3DD and 3D.
Is the 3DD the unrated edition?
I believe so.
It's the one you own.
You nasty.
I just did a Google image search, and yeah, it's nasty. I think 3DD is probably pretty legit.
Look, the mom of the show, Susan L, doesn't need to know that I know that. So we might just edit this whole section out.
Too late.
Dang it.
Okay, question 4. What 2003 American musical romantic comedy centered around spring break starred an American Idol winner?
Oh, really?
Oh,
come on.
I'm going to get these in the wrong order.
2003 spring break musical.
And her co-host was the runner-up.
Yeah, I'm locked in too. And I have a trivia nugget.
Oh, you know what? That's just sad.
Andy, did you lock in?
No, thinking about
He's still deliberating.
Man, I thought this would be your wheelhouse.
All right, I am locking in.
Okay, let's start with Davo.
I am having trouble with the proper title, but I know it was Justin and Kelly.
Okay.
So that's what I wrote down.
And Kels?
From Justin and Kelly.
And Andy?
The Who's Tommy?
Well, we can decide. Kels got the proper name from Justin to Kelly. Davo, maybe half points for getting Justin and Kelly.
Well, you are the Trivia Socks wearing co-host of the show. So you get to decide.
I say half points.
Yay.
Andy,
do I get any points for referencing one of the greatest musicals of all time, the first rock opera, The Who's Tommy?
Andy, I award you no points.
Okay. That's fair.
But if we were awarding Snooty points, you'd have all of them.
You have them.
That's what I'm going for, Davo. The wrestling episode is still my proudest moment.
So, trivia nugget, y'all.
Oh.
We all know where Kelly Clarkson is. You know, multi-Grammy winner, on The Voice, millions of albums sold. But do we know where Justin is right now?
Oh, God. Rehab?
No. He's
in politics, isn't he? Or am I thinking one of the other ones?
He portrays Little Sweet in the Diet Dr. Pepper commercials.
That makes me happy.
That is Justin.
So what you're saying is at least one of them landed on their feet.
Little Sweet is amazing.
Little Sweet is amazing. As you know, I am a huge fan.
Little Sweet big old house with this tiny tool.
Oh, Little Sweet. Okay.
All right.
That made my day. Thanks for bringing up Justin.
By the way, we're approaching 92 minutes. I am so fucking glad I don't have to edit this show.
Sometimes you edit with a scalpel, sometimes you edit with a hacksaw. And,
Yeah. Fuck.
There you go.
All right. Let's bring it home, y'all.
So the scores for round 5. Davo has 95 points. Kels has 77 points. And Andy still has 62 points.
Dropping like a rock. Was winning there for a while. Crashing. Next category, Beatles in the spring, right?
Yeah, Beatles in the spring.
Yeah.
The next category is actually geography.
Oh. Great.
No, I'm decent with geography.
Yeah, you guys hold your applause. It'll be all right. Okay, so question 1. How many states have a city of Springfield? And I'll be generous if you get within 2, because I'm looking for a number here, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm locked in. I have a pretty solid guess.
I'm locked in.
sure. I'm locked in.
Okay, let's start with Andy.
I think almost all of them do. So I'm going with 45.
Okay.
Woof.
And Davo?
Well, I know it's really common, and that's why that's why Homer Simpson and the Simpsons live in Springfield.
Right.
It's because it's really common. I didn't think it was that common, Andy. I went with 10.
And Kels?
I went with 25. It's right there in the middle.
All right. The answer is, in fact, 25.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It really, really is. Now, here in my research of this, here's something I found out, and it doesn't seem plausible or possible, but amongst those 25 states, there's actually 36 Springfields. So that means Wisconsin has 5.
Springfields.
And Ohio has 11.
Springfields.
Huh?
This is what my research showed.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
I don't even.
What?
So when you're in Ohio and you say you live in Springfield, they go, which one?
See, that's not fair to people.
No. Never heard of such a thing.
That's ridiculous.
Huh. Okay.
Now this.
They know there are other names, right?
Right. Let's just go with Springfield again.
It's an oldie but goodie.
So question 2. I'm pretty sure that every single one of you guys is going to get this one, but I wanted to include it for our listeners who are not local.
Okay.
What Arkansas city has the second highest Marshallese population in the world, second only to the Marshall Islands themselves?
Locked in.
Locked in.
Okay, so like I said, I figured all of us would get this question pretty quickly, but for our foreign listeners and even for our domestic listeners, but that don't live in Northwest Arkansas, this is probably a pretty odd question. Andy, what'd you put down?
Springdale, Arkansas.
And Davo?
Springdale, Arkansas, where I am sitting right now.
Right now. And Kels?
Springdale, AR.
And all of you would be correct. I started thinking of this question on a previous episode where Neil asked about the Bikini Atoll. And you guys got it so quickly. And I was like, the reason I know that is because of all of my Marshallese students that I used to teach back in Springdale. And so it got me thinking about that. Okay. Question 3. Which states do not spring forward each spring? Or in other words, do not observe daylight savings time? I'm sorry, which 2 states? I just said which states. Which 2 states do not spring forward each spring?
Ooh.
I am locked in.
I know one. I'm trying to remember the other.
I'm gonna lock in. Something about the way that Davo said locked in makes me feel confident about my second choice.
What?
Something about the way you locked in makes me feel confident about it.
Oh, I see you're going with that.
Just saying. I could be totally wrong in reading the game, but
I'm locked in.
All right, let's start with Davo and his funny locked in.
Well, I lived in one of them, and it was Arizona, and I believe the other one is Hawaii.
And Kels.
oh man, I got really excited for a second when you said that. It's like I lived in one of them. Like, oh, you would have lived in both, but Arizona for sure. I have family in Arizona, and I put Colorado.
Because, wait, are you from Colorado, Dave?
I have spent a considerable amount of time in Colorado.
I'll be darned. I had no idea. That's weird.
It's not a brain ladle episode if that doesn't come up.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's what keeps the rent paid.
And Andy, what did you write down?
I have to admit, I'm a little bit confused about this question because I'm wondering maybe well, I was always in the impression that Arizona and Indiana didn't do daylight savings time, but I thought recently Indiana did switch over, leaving only Arizona.
Well,
I have a rebuttal to you, Andy.
yes.
Do you? Is it about Colorado?
No, it's about Indiana.
Okay.
It wasn't all of Indiana.
No?
Just parts?
There was a few counties in Indiana that would observe it, and the others would not.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So a majority that didn't observe it?
Yeah, they were right close to the central time zone anyway. Not central.
Mhm.
They were on the border of 2 time zones. Relatively
Right.
close. And they wanted to be more into the eastern time zone. So this cluster of counties would go on daylight savings time, would not go on daylight savings time to keep pace with the opposite time zone.
Okay.
Oh,
If I remember correctly.
gotcha.
Yes, Davo, all of that sounds correct, and so do your answers, because the answer is Arizona and Hawaii.
Huh.
I am a time zone master.
Time traveler, even.
That's me.
I have a trivia nugget. What American industry refused to observe daylight savings time?
Let me guess, it has to do with trains.
Well, the industry is railroads. Yeah, American railroads. Yeah. Okay.
Good call. Good call.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Smooth.
I wonder how I got that. That was weird. Okay.
Oh, the way that he sounded excited.
Right.
He geared up for it.
You know, fun fact, this thing I totally love. It's relevant to this conversation.
Woo.
Question 4. In what 3 months does the country/continent of Australia experience spring?
Is the answer Rick Springfield?
I'm locked in.
I'm also like that.
I'm locked in.
Let's start with Kels then.
I said September, October, and November.
And Davo.
September, October, November.
And Andy.
September, October, November.
Smarty pants. That is correct. Okay, and I think that ends our 6 rounds of normal play.
Davo's doing math.
2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Sure enough.
So the final scores leading into the final round. Davo with 125. Kels with 107. Andy with 82.
Ugh. Ugly
got shot
for me.
You just need him to do horribly in this final one.
So, final round. In this round, you have a chance to get 80 points maximum. This question is kind of stemming off the geography as well, but your final round for 10 points apiece. In 2018, can you name the top 8 spring break destinations, cities in the U.S.?
So,
I forgot to say, you can guess. Sorry, you stop it. I forgot to say, you can guess up to 10.
Oh, good. Okay, cool.
So I can include Springfield. That's awesome.
All worth it. I mean, really, your odds are pretty good.
I got pretty good odds. All the kids running to El Dorado and Decoy.
Okay, let's start with Kels because he got his 10 first.
All right. I went with Palm Beach. Do we have to give states? Because I'm not sure. Oh, nice. All right. Palm Beach, South Padre Island, Miami, San Diego, Tampa, Daytona Beach.
Oh, shoot.
Galveston, Palm Springs, Destin, and Gulf Shores.
Oh.
Okay, and Major, did I miss any?
No.
Okay. And Andy.
I got Daytona Beach, Colorado Springs. That goes out to you, Davo.
Hey.
Las
Garden of the
Vegas.
Gods, everybody.
Oh, for the love of Pete. I've been to the Garden of the Gods. It's rocks. They're like tall rocks. Well,
It's real pretty,
tall
though.
rocks. After Colorado Springs, I got Las Vegas, LA, Miami Beach, Puerto Rico, New Orleans, Myrtle Beach, San Diego, and Chicago, because spring break is Lake Michigan when it starts to thaw.
Andy, what'd you say before Chicago?
San Diego.
Okay. And Davo.
I said South Padre Island, San Diego, Fort Lauderdale,
Oh,
Miami Beach, Key West, Santa Barbara, Pismo Beach for all you Palm Beach, Orlando for your family fun, and Cape Hatteras because I lived in North Carolina,
which is not Colorado.
I've lived a lot of places.
Shout out to the Tar Heel State.
Okay, just adding some up here. Okay. So I'm going to read the list to you guys.
Okay.
We didn't do great. This wasn't our best.
That is such a teacher thing.
Very much
great.
so.
Maybe we need to start doing our reading again.
There's always room for improvement. Okay, so
oh my goodness.
Number 1 on the list. Actually, there is a discrepancy on here that I got to ask you guys about for Andy. But the first one was Honolulu.
Oh,
yeah.
Who's going? Okay.
Fancy peep.
Who can afford Honolulu? As a spring break look. Okay, never mind.
All right.
Number 2 is Fort Lauderdale.
Yay.
Which we gave, and y'all could tell me if this isn't right, but we gave Kels the point for that because it's Fort Lauderdale area.
What's in the Fort Lauderdale area that he said?
Destin,
Oh, I don't know if those are close to each other.
Oh dear God.
I think Fort Lauderdale's like.
Yeah, I don't think Kels gets that point.
I think Fort Lauderdale's like Miami.
I'm just trying to help Kels out here. Okay.
Wow.
Kels tell you Benjamin before this got started to keep it fair? What's going on?
Oh,
Well, I have
I'm
no
not
money.
that hard to bribe. He gave me $1.
Yeah, we can be bought.
Whoa.
Here's a
Bought
donut.
Bought you a vanilla orange Coke.
Okay. Oh,
They get you a
nobody
big
wants
Texas
that.
cinnamon roll.
Okay,
I like them big Texas cinnamon rolls.
we'll scratch that point off. Okay, the next one
Oh.
was Phoenix.
Okay,
Goes to Phoenix.
hold on a minute.
Good old dry
I've
heat.
been to Phoenix in the spring, and it's the surface of the sun.
Yes.
Davo, to be fair though,
Davo, I
as has
didn't
been
make
pointed
this
out
list.
before, you do not like the outside. So maybe
At
it
all.
feels different to you because the sunlight burns you.
It's
Well,
like ketchup spice, basically.
You know, 120 is 120 to everybody. Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, number 4 is New York City.
All
Big
right.
swing and a miss on that one, guys.
I played this one completely wrong.
You know, New
Me
York in the
too.
springtime when they start reheating all the hot dogs in the bins that have been there all winter. Nothing nicer.
Number 5, you all got Miami.
Yay.
So I got 1.
Number 6
I know, right?
is Los Angeles.
Got
Oh
2.
my gosh.
Number 7, Las Vegas.
We got
Oh.
3. Ooh, on a run here.
Number 8, Orlando.
Yay. Family fun.
And then that was all 8. But
What?
Andy,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Really?
The garbage list.
This is the most, yeah.
That was great.
Did you find a AAA list like in the glove compartment of a 72 Impala?
Yeah, I think this one outdated. Super Sport. Yeah, nah,
In the world. Hey kids, go to New York for spring.
this is the off the wall answers on Family Feud. Like,
This is where you find them.
who is taking potato salad to the beach?
Andy, it wasn't a 78 Impala. It was the backseat of it was an in-flight travel magazine, backseat of an airplane where you could still smoke cigarettes in.
Nice.
that's Andy's favorite spot.
Before your uncle
right
comes
there.
to pick you up. And
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Wow. Yeah, I did terrible. So.
Oh, I
yeah.
think
Well,
I think Spring Breakers did terrible.
Oh,
Spring break isn't what I've been led to believe by Dirty Grandpa.
Man.
also bad,
Or kids I
Grandpa.
went to school with.
And Bad Grandpa. So,
Wait, so what?
wow. That was an awful round for us. But the final scores are... Oh, Andy. That's so sad. With 112,
Uh-huh.
Andy is in last place.
Okay, that's not a surprise.
Kels has 117.
Because he got Miami right.
Yeah. And Davo wins with 155.
What does that promote?
Utter
you to?
silence. Thank you.
What does
Yeah.
that
Thank
promote
you
you
so
to,
much.
Davo?
What was this is actually not a sanctioned tournament. This was more like a street fight.
Yeah.
Well, this was a fun respite from the trivia juggernaut that is Neil. Thank you, Allison and Major.
We're happy to help.
Absolutely.
This was a good
And
time.
you are, of course, welcome anytime that you are available. The littlest ladler, how's the littlest ladler?
He is sleeping. Otherwise, this last little bit here wouldn't be possible.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I mean, I hope he's sleeping.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Well played.
From everybody here at the Brain Ladle Trivia Podcast, this is Davo with our wonderful friends, Major and Allison.
PCB or die, guys.
I don't know about that.
Kels.
Talking about the greatest intercontinental champion of all time, the honky tonk man is out of line. Yeah.
And Andy.
So long, ladle brainers.
Hey, all you cats and kittens. Like what you hear? Listen to the show on your favorite podcast app. You can also tweet at us if that's your groove at Ladle Brain. We're also on Facebook at Brain Ladle Productions. And you can look us up on YouTube. And if you're feeling it, we have a website, brainladletrivia.com. And if you got a little money and you think we're funny, why don't you kick us some, honey, at our Patreon. Peace, love, and soul. The preceding podcast was presented by Brain Ladle Productions. All rights reserved.